Hi everybody, welcome to my session today. This is Khalid Musalhi here. I head the SaaS Foundation team in Cloud ERP Product Management. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to talk about interesting topics today. Probably each one of you would like to transition moving to cloud. And the question that we always ask ourselves, what is the right direction for me? And here I'm going to share with you some discussion points, some influencing factors you need to think about it. Most importantly is what the product offer me to help me in such migration path. So good discussion, and let's kick it off from there. Probably you are familiar with these options. SAP offer you a different paths to move to S/4HANA Cloud. Call it the public cloud, private cloud, or hybrid. The question you could ask yourself, if you're expecting me to tell you today about go to these options, then you are not in the right session, unfortunately. So I'm going to help you today to understand what are the right discussion points that you need to have it to decide about the right option for you, the right options for your organizations. Let's take it from there. Probably I'm going to share with you a good stuff about what we have today, what you would expect from us tomorrow, that explain why we have this disclaimer. So let me start with setting the scene for a very important 5 discussion points that you need to think about it to make the right decision on the path to S/4HANA Cloud. One is your industry requirements. Are you running regulated, non-regulated industry? And second is your business complexity. Are you running a specific line of business, a specific industry, or you are running diversity in terms of industries or in terms of line of business? Your operating model. Are you ready to adopt the standard processes, or you think is a highly customized business process as part of your unique value? Then your IT landscape, talking about your current state, your future state. Are you ready to consider greenfield type of an implementation, or brownfield, migrating from what you have today is an essential for your success? Last but not least, your flexibility in terms of resources and timelines. So I understand those are important factors for you, and that explains why I have prepared an important poll for you. Let's put the poll now. I think we have a good question. I would love to hear your voices around which one of these factors are the most important for you to decide on the next step in your journey. I will look to the results of the poll close to the end of my session today. But most importantly, we come to this session today to understand how the product evolve in a way to help you making the right decision. And I'm going to tackle these points for every one of those elements. So let me start with the first one, industry requirements. Industry requirements define what industry scope that you are in. It's a spectrum starting from fully regulated industry where I would say private cloud or hybrid would be the right fit, to a less regulated industry where maybe public cloud may be the best fit for you. But to go into the right decision for you, I highly recommend you to go a bit one level down to probably understand what exactly the capabilities or the industry requirements that you are looking for. Just stay on the level of, is it a service industry, discrete manufacturing, consumer, public services, E&R? This is not enough actually to make the right judge about being public cloud or private cloud would be the right option for me. You need to really go down. And the good news in this slide today, you have seen how we evolve in the public cloud, covering too much of an additional requirements that bring a value to you in all of these industries. So my recommendation to you, think about going to that level of details and see how much each and every requirements would help you. We have actually delivered with 2408 release, which is the August release of our product, quite good number of features that would help you to extend the coverage of the products. So I highly recommend you to look to the industry one page. It's attached to the DDA, the Digital Discovery Assessment Tool. We have also supported the geo expansion coverage of our industries, and we have delivered quite good number of core components, features and functionality, talking about CAD integration, for example, asset retirement obligations, recipe creation and subscription billing in consumer products, and many other stuff. Is that everything? Definitely no. You could also think about future, and in future we would continue the expansion of the industry coverage, and I would refer here to an interesting point that we bring it for you that maybe you need to think about it is localization as a self-service. So localization as a self-service would help you to decide on exactly what are the type of the features that you can extend as a standard scope that we deliver. We have also delivered an interesting feature, we call it app as an entity. Today in your IAM, Identity Access Management, you have our standard catalog as the lowest entity where you can build your role authorization based on that. But with app and entity, we give you now the flexibility to decide on to which app you want to assign to which user. So this level of details would help you with app as an entity. I talk about localization as a self-service. It's a very interesting way forward that would help you to extend the scope of our localization, talking about country localization, talking about an industry localization. So the localization as a self-service will be your way forward to extend the local versions delivered by us, or create new customer local version, and it is also valid for countries as well as industries. So a lot of things you would expect from us, and at the end of the day, if all of these features here is not possibly covering what you are looking for, probably you could think about private cloud edition that give you a tailored fit type of functionality to help you in this regard. Let's move to another dimension, talking about the business size and complexity. And this is also an interesting because based on the diversity of your business, based on which line of business you are in, probably you are looking for a platform that can help you talking about, I am currently in a certain business model and I'm looking for the future where I need maybe to adopt a new business model or to work in a new line of business or a new industry. And for that reason, we have introduced the DDA. DDA has evolved to be the right platform that can help you to make this type of an assessment. So I would go for the DDA, giving you some sort of a guidance, and I have to consider the opportunity for me where I can build on. So as of today, and from 2408 release itself, we have delivered quite good number of tools and assets that could help you throughout the journey. So from the qualification stage itself, using the DDA, you get a guidance, which one of the direction would fit you better. Then we give you a ready-to-use type of a best practice with Grow with SAP, which public cloud in the center of that. Then we give you localization as a self-service on top of the extensive localization coverage that we have it for the global rollout. And throughout the deployment, relying on our Activate, our cloud ALM, you have the right path to this. And at any point of time, hybrid or two-tier is still an option for you. We are investing heavily in that. And if we look for tomorrow, I would say we are continuously enhancing the product, especially in the area of hybrid or two-tier. There is quite good number of two-tier scenarios. We are adding it to the product in 25. We are also continue the geo expansion. So in addition to the 59 standard geographies we are covering, today we have localization as a service that would allow you as well as our partners actually to extend this. And the good news, we bring intelligence into that. So using Joule today, which is covering around 80% of the most used tasks from navigational perspective, transactional capabilities are already covered with the product. And then you have a big list of Gen AI use cases that's planned to be delivered in 2502. That indeed is going to help you to increase the productivity of the user. Just to give you some example, smart summarization, integration with Microsoft Copilot, and the situation handling. And in addition to all of this, at the end of the day, if that's not enough from a public cloud or hybrid, then definitely private cloud would be still an option there. We give you a practical guidance with a set of tools that take you from day one of the journey to make a readiness check, to make a custom code analysis, and that probably would help you to say, what's my next step in this journey? Let's talk about the third element here, the operating model. And that's quite important because knowing the speed of the changes in your business and the complexity in your business, we understand that at some point of time, we need to customize this. You need to extend the scope that you deliver. Probably all of you know the extensibility options that we deliver. And the good news, this is an area that we are highly investing from an SAP. I would say as of release 2408, we have more than 750 prepared integration with public cloud. We have around 700 plus open AIs, more than 6,000 CDFs used. So all of this, I consider it as the tools for you to allow you to integrate and connect the dots with other applications. That's possible through configuration, low code, or even with some development as and when required. And to do that, we are actually continuously adding different ways that you do that. You are familiar with the BTP as a side-by-side type of extensibility. You know the developer extensibility. You know the in-app extensibility. All of this provide you a possibility to accelerate the scope of the product beyond what we deliver. The second step, okay, and that could be interesting not only for customers but also for partners. I develop something, I want to take this with me from one system to the other. We started with what we call it the one-off, and I'm talking here about extensibility in the embedded app, in the in-app extensibility itself. And in the past, we started with an option, I can custom the developed product itself. It's one-off, means it's only for one customer. But the good news, before the end of this year, we have already the multi-off, which would allow you to carry some of this development from one system to the other system through the GitHub, which is great. And I can tell you, moving into 25, we will give you a scalable approach that would allow you to develop some sort of an app add-on that you can take it from one system to another system. So that's definitely the case for ABAP. And the good news in BTP, that's already available from day one. So now we enable this as well for the ABAP. Last but not least, we fully understand that this type of development requires speed. You need to find a ways how to accelerate the coding that I'm doing here. And the good news, we are investing heavily in the Joule Copilot ABAP development capabilities. I would name 3 key pillars that we are investing in. One, Joule Copilot Code Assist. This would help you to explain and give you the possibility how to make code completion. So it provides real-time explanation of the development object, streamlining, learning, finding answer to your questions. So this is your way forward how to probably build in on top of that type of coding that you are involved in. Then we have the Joule Copilot Code Prediction that would help you to predict what type of ABAP code, and it provides you some suggestions about the ABAP code that fits it to the respective language version and context. Last but not least, ABAP Cloud Model Generator. And here we are even going to generate an ABAP Cloud Model Business Objects for you. This huge investment we do in that regard to help you to accelerate the development, and all of that are included into our 2025 roadmap for this. So with all of this, we believe that we give you the right platform to accelerate custom development in public cloud. And as said, if all of this is not an option for you, still private cloud is an option, hybrid is an option, following our clean core strategy that also could help you to extend as a core product. Then let's talk quickly about the IT landscape here, because this is pretty much important. You are going through a journey, and you need to think about your current landscape while you are moving towards a new landscape. And I would say here we are providing you the right implementation tools to give you the right experience that you would like to hear about it here. So starting from the migration of your data, probably you all know about our data migration cockpits. We are enhancing this heavily. We are every day adding a new migration object to this migration cockpit to allow you carry out your master data, your open transactions from the systems that you are in to public cloud. The second is parallel project Ryan. Probably some of you heard about this. It is an opportunity that we can allow our customers, our partner, to have one more parallel line to the main line. So the main line is in the 3-system landscape: development, test and quality, and then production. This is the main line. We added another line to parallel to that, which would allow you to have better predictability on how changes impact the production system. You have more flexibility in project handling. You can enhance the lifecycle management of your implementation. So you can use this for different use cases. We have seen some customer which are currently in an early adopter mode, looking to PPL to be used for testing the data migration, for example, using it as a training environment for your global rollouts. The good news that we are planning to make PPL GA by 2025 release, which indeed will bring great value to creating such another line for flexibility during the implementation. The second is the usage experience. Your success in SaaS ERP is all about how much I'm adopting and I'm using from the product. And here I wanted to touch base on two important things. One is called in-app recommendation. So we give you a relevant product capabilities to the right user. We notify you. It's an embedded tool into the product. We tell each user there is an upcoming new capability with the new release, which could be of your interest. Look to that. Then I also would like to highlight you about the SAP Cloud ALM operation. And here we segregate between the responsibilities with SAP, which lies in the area of IT infrastructure management, system management, which is quite important. And we are limiting your role actually here as a customer just to focus on business, focus on how to make your business process successful or running the way how it can serve your business. And last but not least, in terms of an experience which we give you here is a landscape management. The good news today, we support an SLA of 99.9%. We have upgraded the downtime reduction to 8 hours for all cloud services. I highly encourage you to look to the maintenance calendar. It's quite interesting now because it helps you to give you such a clear picture on the right experiences that you have it here. Last but not least is flexibility in terms of resources and timeline. This is very important attribute for you to make a decision for sure. And here we have the two options. We have Rise with SAP that give you the flexibility. You can decide on the way how you wanted to implement, the way how you wanted to configure the product. You have all the flexibility in this regard. And that would be a valid option if you are flexible in terms of resources and timeline. But if you have a very limited and well-defined timeline and very restricted resources, then I would say Grow with SAP would be the right option for you, which is centered around S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition. The good news, we are working today on embedding the suite experience with Grow with SAP, where you will get a unified experience across all the products included into Grow. Stay aligned. You will hear from us about this in the next. So in summary, I would like to say you still have two right paths. The private edition, we look to it as a tailored to fit type of a cloud ERP that can meet the way how you want to structure your organization. We see this is more fit for install base. So you run on your own standard terms and condition. You can have still a best practice, but it's an optional. You decide on that. There is a smooth migration process from whatever ERP that you are running today. It can handle complex scenarios. That's why we always recommend this if you are in a more regulated type of industry. On the other side, you have the public cloud option, which is ready to run for cloud ERP. You have best practice embedded into that. Time to value is faster, market leading localization, and the lowest TCO, and all of that come with the new user experience that we bring it. And we see this is always the right option for all the new names who will adopt the greenfield. In my point of view, I always like, if I would simplify this picture, I would say private cloud, it helps you to reach from point A to point B as if you are driving in the streets. So you can decide on the right path for you. You have all the flexibility, but you have to be ready that it could come with an additional time, with an additional effort, with an additional investment. On the other side, you have public cloud as you are moving from point A to point B using the underground, and that can give you a specific well-defined path, specific timings for implementation. You can have a very clear path, efforts, and budget estimates to go through the journey. Keep these 5 points in front of you. Those are the important factors to decide in, and I would look to the outcome from the poll that would show exactly which one of them are the most important factor for you. At the end of the day, as said, it is your decision. considering all of those 5 points, you have to decide what would be the right path for you. Is it a private edition with all the flexibility there, but I have to take a bit of risk around what timeline it will take me to be up running, what type of scenarios I need to configure it myself, or the extreme side of a public edition where I run a standardized business process. It's a cost effective. It's ideal if you wanted to have a well-defined roadmap. And the third option is a hybrid. So all of them are pretty much, you can combine the flavor from public and from private in one option or in one solution that you can adapt with your organization. So thanks for listening, and that concludes my presentation. I hope you get something out of it. And let me now look to the poll. It's interesting, and I see more than 70% of the responses go towards the industry requirements as an important factor for you to make a decision around which direction to go, public and private. While I see the operating models, the IT landscape, resources and timelines are equally having the similar share of around 9%, but it's very clear that industry requirements play an important role. And I completely agree with that, not to underestimate the importance of the other factors for sure, but definitely industry requirements involvement is contributing heavily to which path you need to take. And the good news I want to share with you is that we are investing heavily from SAP side to bring in additional capabilities into industries, and also to bring more of an adding value type of features. Either we deliver it ourselves, or we bring it from our certified, qualified partner solution for industries, or we give you also the possibility that you can extend the scope beyond what we deliver using the localization as a self-service. So that's great. Okay, so I'm done with my presentation. It is the time now to look to the Q&A. Perfect. Let me look to the questions. I see it here. So maybe let me start with the first question. The question is all about, with regard to extensibility in S/4HANA public cloud, how SAP investing in this area? We are facing a challenge due to missing APIs. What steps is SAP taking to address this? It's a good question. And I would refer to one of my slides during the presentation where I shared with you the number of APIs, number of CDS views, different type of extensibility options we are offering it to you. And I would say this is an area where we focus heavily. And I would say from every release, we are actually prioritize usually the ask for API. My advice to you, if you have missing API, we have a dedicated channel on customer influence portal. This is the right place. Place your request there. And I can tell you that we are prioritizing this type of request in our portfolio planning for what you would expect in the next release. So that would be my short answer to this. Second question, I would say, second question is about what we are doing beyond what industries we are going to focus in terms of industries. I can only say retail, consumer product, automotive, product-centric industries will remain focused to us, including public sector as well. We will look to all the questions. My colleagues will look to this, and we will come back to you with answering all of these questions. Thanks again for listening to me, and wish you a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.